more thoughts before we head on to the questions? All
No.
right, ladies.
All right, our first question is if you were at that bridal shower, what would have been your reaction to all of that drama? Uh, well, I got a few different answers. One, I wouldn't have been there because I'm not going anywhere I don't really want to go anyway. But if I did just so happen to find
Exactly.
myself there, if I was just at the bridal shower, I would have been like those two girls that snuck out the back that ran out the door ready to
Before it got
leave.
popping, yeah.
I would have dipped out like, yep, I'm good, time to go before things heat up in here. And then three,
Mm-hmm.
if I was front and center in this interaction with Addison and all that, and my girl there, I would have to stay. I'm not going to leave my girl hanging. I don't want other girls trying to gang up on her and stuff, so they'll do that too.
Right.
So, I would have definitely stuck around to make sure, we all got out of there safely. And then stood up, had my girl's back, until that was done. So that's how I would have handled that.
I agree. What about you, Alicia?
I would have sat back with my drink and enjoyed the drama. You know me, I could be a little messy. Especially, I love drama when it doesn't involve me. You know, I'll just sit back and watch the fireworks, especially since Malia gave it to her, and Wendy and Eva stood up for her, and I mean, we got a taste of everybody's little tea and blah blah. I would, me personally, I just would have sat back and watched the fireworks. I definitely wouldn't ran left. That part I thought was kind of funny too, where those people were like, "Okay, this is gonna turn this. I'm out." I'm like, "What?
Yeah, they put the
We're
little church
going?"
finger up.
Right.
Excuse me, I'm leaving. Excuse me. The little finger up.
Vegan.
I gotta go. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Mm. Yeah,
I thought
I
that
would
was
have
the
sat back.
corniest thing when people used to put that little finger up and walk around in church. I'm like, put that thing. To me, the finger in the air to say excuse me while you're walking. That's more distracting because you're.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So part like if I would have been there, because the way God do me though, like God be talking, he'd be like, you better get up and leave. It's gonna be your turn next. You see what I'm saying? Even if it had nothing to do with me, in my mind, and I would have been hearing God like, how fast these tables turn with people. They'll have you in some junk. And the difference between myself and Malia, or I guess many of those people in that room, if you ever think in your little petty life that you're going to disrespect me on any level, you're going to come for me and my family. Let's be honest, like my family's not perfect. They're not. And I'm far from it. I mean, I'm far from it. But what we not going to do is sit up in here and think you're going to disrespect me and I'm going to have a war of words. I'm going to have a war with my fist. And that may not be the most eloquent thing to say, but don't try people when you don't know how short the fuse is, baby. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I wouldn't run, because I'm peeping out the scenery, wishing the Negro would.
Yeah, she said, I'm wishing you would come bring that action. I'm the type of
Right.
person I would have got up and left because I know like if y'all turn this heat on me,
You gonna turn it
I'm
all the
I'm
way
picking
up.
I'm picking up one of them round tables. You see what I'm saying? And so I these days in my life, I go out of my way to try to avoid unnecessary issues. I mean, I've never been a person who created issues, but I've never been one who's going to run away from nothing either. I mean, if you want to go there, I mean, I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody backing down
Right.
from nothing. However, I'm in a place in my life now where I'm like, I just don't even, I don't even care to know other people's business. I don't even care to know other people's tea because I'd be like, once you've heard one story, you basically heard them all. I don't think there's anything that can really shock me at this point. The only thing that can really shock me is that, if you're cutting people up, whatever, and then eating them with your soup or making them into a soup. And even that's not that shocking because Jeffrey Dahmer did it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, there's really nothing that can shock me too much anymore. I just don't want to know. Like, I'm really valuing my peace of mind. I don't want to know. I would have jetted. I'd have been like, let me leave because if these heifers in this room turn this on me somehow, some way, they all gonna wish to God that they hadn't have done that. So that would have been my response. I'm leaving too. Alicia, next question is yours.
Okay. I was shocked that Julia accused Malia of ruining her shower. Do you think Julia has been a fake friend all this time? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she one. This is my first, reading about her, but to know when she this before she kicked Malia out of the party when or shower,
How
she
you
took
get kicked out of a
yeah,
party,
girl got
baby?
kicked out of the party. She told her, she's like, yeah, everybody here told me not to invite you and blah 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 blah. And the fact that
Mm-hmm.
a whole group of people was talking behind her back, and you're like, well, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and not really like bringing her
Please
up on
don't.
game. Yeah,
That's
just don't
cool.
invite me.
Don't give me the
If you're
benefit of the doubt.
if you're friends with my enemies,
We're
you don't
not
have to be
friends.
my enemy, but you're not my friend. You know what I
You're not
mean?
my friend. You
So
don't have to be my enemy, but you're definitely not my friend. So
right. And she sat back quietly, like she had a problem with how Malia responded, but she didn't have an issue at all with why Malia went off like she
Addison
did.
and what she
She
was
had
saying,
no issue with
yeah.
Addison is the one that came over there and was like, "Oh, so how are you doing?" She came over there on her bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
and she got a whole thing started. And then Malia pops back, and it's like, "Oh, how dare you pop back? You ruined it by popping back."
Right.
And it's like, why are we here in the first place? Because Addison was
Yeah.
seriously trying to throw shade. She even tried to get audience participation. She's saying stuff and looking back, right, ladies? She got the
Right,
whole crowd.
ladies.
Right. And I'm like,
She had the whole crowd going.
at least Malia just told her about herself and then went on about her business. She didn't turn to,
She
Eva
wasn't like,
and
right, Wendy? Right,
right,
Eva?
back me up on
No.
this. And so
Back me
yeah,
up,
Addison
ladies.
showed up. And so yeah, I believe Julia ain't no friend at all. She's just like the rest of
Mhm.
them. Half
Just
jealous,
like the
half
rest.
mad. Yeah, she ain't no friend.
Not at all. What are your thoughts,
Mm-mm.
Kitty?
Oh, I agree. I think you summed it up greatly. Julia is definitely a fake friend, and I was really upset because I'm like, dang, Malia went out of her way to be there for her when she didn't want to come anyway.
Right.
And to put that effort forward, and Julia just pretty much slapped her in the face, knowing that she was standing alone, on the sea of all these wolves, and then for her not to say anything about Addison's behavior, it's really given like people that act a certain way depending on who has more money in
Yeah.
their pocket. I forget the term for it, but that's what Julia was acting like. She has more invested with her relationship with Addison than
Definitely.
she did with Malia. So she was willing to allow Malia to take the fall for everything. So
Yeah. So the way that this Rose City hierarchy seems to be set up, um, for the women who are in standees, like seems like every generation has like a queen bee who kind of runs that generation. And when they get together in their own little circles, you have these little groups, and everybody's like looking up to this person, right? So Sandy's among a group of women, but again, that's within her generation. So now we're seeing this is Malia and Addison and Julia and Eva's generation of women. And Addison is the one who sets the tone for everything. She's the one that if she says jump, people aren't even asking how high. They just trying to outdo each other. Everybody wants Addison Riley's approval. They want her to bring them in. So nobody's going to step to her. Nobody's going to put her in her place. Nobody's going to be like, I don't think that's right what you just said. Like everybody's going to be like, well, I just thank Jesus that she didn't say it to me. Like that's the focus. The focus is you ain't said it to me. So y'all want to like run old poor Malia down in the ground. Like that's cool with me. But no, Julia's not a real friend. Alicia, you summed it up. There have been private conversations happening behind the scenes. Do we invite Malia or do we not? Like, do we really want her there? It'd be kind of weird if she isn't there because she is Sandy's daughter, like Giselle is her grandmother. Like Giselle might say something to my grandmother because they're in that inner circle together. And it could be like a big thing. So we'll just invite her on like family name alone. Okay. And hopefully she'll be able to like, conduct herself appropriately. So There was definitely conversations going on behind Malia's back, and there were people who were like, my vote is not to bring her. And other people were like, bring her so that we can destroy her piece by piece. So to me, there was almost like a compromise behind the scenes. I'll invite her, but then you guys attack her. You see what I'm saying? Because the fact that nobody, come on, Carrie, what you want to say about that? Come on, baby.
Now, I think you just made a really good point. I don't think they expected her to show up. You know, she's been ghost all this time. So they're like, let's throw it out there so Sandy can't say anything. Giselle can't say anything. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to show up anyway. But if she does,
She about to get that work. So yeah, I think that they were just like, if she comes, great, whatever. They can't say that we, put her out of this elite group. She's choosing not to be around us, right? But if she comes, we're going to make her wish that she had not shown up here today. I don't think that Julia was a friend. I think Julia has been a fake friend. I think she's like a lot of people in the Rose City world where to your face, I'm going to smile. Hey, how are you doing today? Pretty dress. And then like, really, did she think that was really cute? That floral thing that's like really like, that was like 2 seasons ago, So it seems to me like Julia operates in passive aggressiveness where Addison, she operates in nastiness. Like, I'm going to see you, it could be a Saks Fifth Avenue and I'm going to make sure I walk over. Oh, are you in the clearance area? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it said clearance over your head. Yeah, because you look like a type of person, who shops clearance. Like, she's going to always start some junk wherever she goes. Well, Julia will be like, so what have you been up to? And your sister's getting married. Maybe there'll be some eligible bachelors there for you, Malia. And Malia's like, girl, I'm good. Like, ain't nobody starting that. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I saw Malia at Saks today, and we were both getting shoes, and I was trying to encourage her to be open-minded at the wedding. There's going to be a lot of eligible bachelors, a lot of really good catches there. And she just blew it off. It's so weird that she doesn't want to like date. Maybe she's a lesbian. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of friend that, that's what Julia's given me in terms of energy. So no, she's not a real friend. I feel like she's a backstabber. I think she's been talking bad about Malia until Malia's face being very, we should go get mani-pedis together and a massage too. Like, she seems like she's a friend, but she's really not a friend. She's the epitome of what it is to be fake. Smiling in people's, at least with Addison, you know what you get. If you see her, she's going to talk some junk and you can talk some back. But with Julia, she's the type of person that you're going to see her and it's going to, give me a hug. Oh, you sound so good. What are you wearing? Is that the latest Tom Ford perfume? Or is that, she's that type of person. She wants to know if it's the new. Oh, yeah, I stopped wearing that like 10 years ago. Yeah, I've evolved a lot. What does your evolution of nothing mean for me? Like, girl, shut up. We're not the same, okay? So, yeah, I don't think she's a good friend. I think she's a fake backstabber, and this was clearly all a setup because nobody was mad at Addison for walking her tail over and getting the party started. Those 2 women who dipped out because they saw, oh, here she goes again. She about to cut up. They left because they saw she's about to cause a problem. Everybody else was like, ooh, baby, where my drink at? Because it's about to get good in here today. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like to blame Malia for something that Addison did, it's almost like you're saying, I wish, Malia, you would have just sat back, been quiet, let us publicly embarrass you. And then you were the one who ran out and left and cried. And we was like, girl, we got her. High five. Yeah. That's what I think happened. So the next question is,
let us disrespect you respectfully.
Yeah, let us do what we came to do. You are clearly pin the tail on the donkey. I remember when I was a little kid, my brothers would be like, let's play pin the tail on the donkey. And they would blindfold me. And then I would just get beat with a little stick. I'm like, ah! Because I didn't understand. I was the donkey. But after about 5 or 6 years old, I was like, not playing that game anymore, because this is not right. You guys are literally beating me while I'm blindfolded. So, shows you what kind of family I came from. Praise God.